China's manufacturing and e-commerce back office, AI job impacts in March 2026. China is racing ahead with automation and AI across industry. By 2024, it installed a record 295,000 industrial robots, over half of the global total, and its robot population topped 2 million units. In leading provinces like Guangdong, this is even more dramatic. Guangdong alone produced 63,200 new industrial robots in Q1 2025, up 31% YoY. While these robot arms and smart systems boost productivity, analysts warn they also displace workers in routine roles. Indeed, experts note that high-precision, repetitive manufacturing tasks like visual inspection and quality control, and basic service jobs like answering customer queries are being automated first. We estimate that in March 2026, a tens of thousands scale wave of tech-related workforce shifts occurred in China's factories, warehouses, and online service centers, but quantifying these AI layoffs is difficult. Below, we review the evidence from official data, company announcements, and job market trends, and compare the impacts in Guangdong, Jiangsu, and Zhejiang provinces. Manufacturing quality control and job impacts. China's factories have long been bulkified by human labor, but are now installing computer vision and robot inspection lines. Advances in AI vision inspection mean cameras and software can spot defects faster and cheaper than humans. Chinese manufacturing sectors, from electronics to automobiles, have rushed to use robots and AI for precision tasks. For example, by the end of 2023, China had about 470 robots per 10,000 factory workers, triple the global average. This reflects a massive shift. Robots now do many of the repetitive high-accuracy quality checks that were once done by line inspectors. China Daily's reporting notes Chinese robot parks using low-end, homegrown robots to handle routine factory work. This automation inevitably means fewer QC inspectors are needed. Official data show China's industrial output has been stable or slowly growing, even as employment in manufacturing has not expanded. Although the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, reports that manufacturing output rose in early 2026, factory headcounts have not kept pace. The NBS and government media do not break out layoffs by cause, so we rely on indirect clues. One sign is that large-scale factory clusters have trimmed labor. A recent investigation of Foxconn's giant Jiangsu iPhone City plant noted its workforce fell from 1,300,000 at peak to about 150,000 as Apple and its suppliers automated high-volume production. This trend predates 2026, but illustrates the scale. Industry analysis suggests staggered impacts across China's provinces. Guangdong, the Pearl River Delta, is a powerhouse for electronics and has aggressively deployed automation. Its robot output and AI investment are nationwide leaders, implying Guangdong factories likely cut more manual QC roles. Jiangsu and Zhejiang, the Yangtze Delta's skilled manufacturing hub, are also heavily automated. For example, The Wire China notes China outpaces Japan, Germany in robot density, and many Jiangsu plants use Chinese robot arms. In all three provinces, engineers and technicians are growing in demand, while routine operators shrink. We estimate several thousand manufacturing QC jobs were displaced in March 2026 by AI robot adoption, with Guangdong and Jiangsu seeing the bulk due to their high robot adoption rates. Warehouse and logistics automation. Logistics and warehousing are prime targets for robots and AI, especially as China's e-commerce booms. Cainiao, Alibaba's logistics arm, announced in March 2026 that it will roll out a global network of AI-powered robotic warehouses in Asia, Europe, and the US over the next few years. These facilities use fleets of autonomous mobile robots, conveyors, and AI schedulers to pick, sort, and pack goods. Cainiao says its new warehouses will achieve far higher throughput than conventional ones. Chinese companies have long been integrating robotics into their distribution centers. For instance, JD.com's Asia #1 automated hubs have cut human warehouse labor by up to 70% in some tasks. Automated goods-to-person (G2P) systems now let one worker do the work of many. A JD Logistics warehouse reported boosting a picker's output from 800 to 3,200 packages per day by using AI-guided robots. These technologies directly reduce warehouse labor needs. Again, provinces differ. Guangdong and Zhejiang have many major ports and e-commerce centers, e.g. Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Hangzhou, and thus lead logistics automation. Guangdong's massive warehouse networks, already using AGVs and smart sorting, are increasing robotization, given its 63,200 robots made in Q1 2025. Zhejiang, home to Alibaba and other e-commerce giants, also invests heavily. Local policies encourage smart logistics hubs. By contrast, Jiangsu, while industrial, has fewer large e-commerce warehouses. Overall, we estimate thousands of warehouse jobs were affected in March 2026 by automation. Order picking, sorting, and driver roles see cutbacks as Chinese firms deploy more robots. Unfortunately, there are no public tallies by province, but anecdotal evidence, e.g. media visits to smart warehouses, suggests Guangdong and Zhejiang see more robotization-driven turnover. E-commerce customer service. On the service side, Chinese online retailers are rapidly adopting AI bots for customer support. Chatbot technology, including Chinese language large language models, can handle routine inquiries. According to China Daily, by late 2024, LLMs were already starting to displace human agents. Hiring demand for customer service roles in China fell 2 percentage points YoY by mid-2024. In plain terms, this means fewer jobs posted for phone, email, CS reps as companies automate simple Q&A. One widely reported case, though disputed, was an online retailer planning to cut 95% of its customer service staff, keeping only a few AI-enabled operators. The company later walked back the story, saying it would actually add staff, but the episode underscores how aggressively some merchants are eyeing AI. In general, industry insiders note that AI chatbots are now handling the bulk of routine e-commerce queries. One survey found that leading online merchants who installed smart chat systems cut their human support costs by over 80%. At the same time, China's official statistics show the overall e-commerce sector is still growing, so total customer service jobs haven't vanished entirely. Instead, positions are shifting. Complex or sales-related support still needs humans, and new AI maintenance jobs are emerging. Given this, we estimate on the order of a few thousand customer service layoffs or non-hirings in March 2026 due to AI. The drop in demand is uneven geographically. Zhejiang, home to Alibaba Ant Group, and Guangdong, JD/PDD operations have the largest e-commerce workforces and thus see the most AI versus human substitution. In Jiangsu, with somewhat less pure-play e-commerce, the effect is smaller. Data and measurement limitations. Official Chinese employment data do not isolate AI-driven job losses, so analysis must piece together indirect clues. National Bureau of Statistics reports routinely track urban unemployment, the surveyed unemployment rate, and overall job creation. These figures show China's job market was generally stable in early 2026, urban unemployment around 5.3%. But they don't say why people lost jobs. Likewise, provincial labor bureaus do publish employment summaries, but they lump all job changes together. To gauge AI's impact, analysts use alternative signals. One proxy is industry and company announcements, like Cainou's robotic warehousing plans, which imply some human roles will vanish. Another is job posting data on recruitment platforms. Chinese job boards show a sharp surge in AI robotics demand. For example, Xiaopin reported that openings for LLM and AI R&D specialists jumped roughly 60 to 110% year-on-year by 2024. In parallel, listings for basic customer support and data entry roles have flattened or declined by about 2%. This suggests some routine roles aren't being filled as before. In short, demand for AI skills is rising, while demand for repetitive desk jobs is shrinking, which indirectly signals technology is replacing those jobs. Still, all these are estimates. We can't easily count how many laid-off workers cited AI as the reason. Companies often attribute cuts to cost or efficiency goals, and some use AI adoption as a convenient explanation. As one tech CEO quipped, sometimes AI ends up a scapegoat in corporate downsizing. In China, where the government stresses social stability, firms are cautious about publicizing large tech-related layoffs. Thus, our figures above, e.g. a few thousand in each sector, are best guesses based on available industry data and trends. Regional comparison: Guangdong versus Jiangsu versus Zhejiang. The three provinces share strong industry pipelines, but have different employment profiles. Guangdong has a huge electronics and auto parts base and has aggressively automated. Its robot output and AI investment lead the nation. Thus, we expect Guangdong saw the largest absolute number of automation-linked displacements in March 2026, especially in factory QC and logistics roles. Zhejiang excels in e-commerce and new retail with the Alibaba Group, etc. AI-driven changes here are more in services and warehousing. Many routine seller support roles could be replaced by chatbots. Jiangsu hosts advanced manufacturing, e.g. chip fabs, new energy, so it too is automation-heavy, though it has a lower share of pure e-commerce. Overall unemployment rates in these provinces remained near national levels in early 2026, but sectoral shifts within each were notable. For example, Guangdong's official reports highlighted booming robot output, but also talked about retraining programs for laid-off workers, implicitly acknowledging factory turnover. Zhejiang media similarly note big investments in AI commerce, but also emphasize upskilling existing employees. In all three provinces, governments are encouraging firms to replace retiring or quitting older workers with machines as they upgrade. So far, there is no sign of a mass force layoff event like in some Western tech companies. Instead, firms in GZJSZJ seem to prefer gradual attrition and retraining. Conclusion and advice. China's March 2026 data suggest a mixed picture. On one hand, broad labor statistics were stable. There is clear evidence of ongoing automation in manufacturing, warehousing, and call centers. Tens of thousands of jobs could be affected across the country this year, with our analysis pointing to the single-digit thousands in each of the three focus provinces. The majority of these are lower-skilled, routine positions being supplanted by AI tools or robots, while some higher-skilled AI jobs are created in parallel. Regional differences persist. Guangdong's heavy industry means more factory and logistics shifts. Zhejiang's digital economy means more shifts in online service roles, and Jiangsu sees a bit of both. But all three are accelerating automation trials. Measurement caveat: China's official statistics don't break out AI layoffs, so all figures here are approximate. We triangulate from sources like government industry reports, corporate announcements, and recruitment site trends. These suggest the transformation is already underway, but its net effect on total employment is still uncertain. It is likely that many displaced workers will find other jobs in growing fields, though retraining and seasonality effects. Spring festival season can blur the picture. Actionable advice for workers: focus on skills that AI cannot easily replicate, such as complex problem solving, creativity, social and emotional intelligence. As China Daily notes, demand for AI and robotics experts is surging. Workers should upskill in data analysis, machine learning, or advanced manufacturing to stay competitive. Older or mid-career workers in routine jobs should seek retraining early, as China's policy guidelines urge. For companies, integrate AI thoughtfully. Rather than abrupt mass layoffs, many Chinese firms are using attrition and retraining to gradually transition staff. This matches China's official line of promoting high-quality employment, even as AI is adopted. Companies can bolster morale by transparently explaining how automation will reshape roles, and by helping affected staff move into higher-value tasks. For policymakers, continue and strengthen support for displaced workers. Provincial authorities should expand targeted job placement services in overbuilt sectors and offer subsidies or incentives for retraining programs. The central government's recent employment guidelines explicitly call for actively responding to the impact of AI on jobs. Ensuring social safety nets and entrepreneurial training can help redeploy workers into emerging industries, e.g., in renewable energy, healthcare, or new retail. China's path through the AI transition will likely be gradual and managed. Recent commentary emphasizes minimizing social disruption. But companies and individuals ignoring these trends risk falling behind. By monitoring job market signals, like where hiring is shrinking, and proactively adapting skills, the workforce can ride China's AI wave with less pain. Sources: official Chinese statistics and press releases, industry analyses and media, China Daily, IFR Robotics Report, company and sector announcements, plus news coverage of e-commerce/AI trends. All links to sources are available in the text version of this article. You can find the full article at can'tfindjob.com. Thanks for listening. If today's episode hit close to home, stop scrolling job boards that weren't built for this new reality. Check out Claw Earn on AIagentstore.ai. the first jobs marketplace designed for both humans and AI agents, so you can start earning no matter which side of the AI revolution you're on.